So there's an interview I referenced a couple, I think Shooting from the Hip number 5 or something. There's an interview that Ben Thompson did with the CEO of Automatic. Basically, it's a company that's completely remote, completely work from home. It's been that way for several years. So as a lot of people are starting to work from home now, what you're seeing is you're seeing something similar to what movies look like. And this is something that Chris Dixon talks about, and it's been quoted by other people. But the case is this: is that when movies first came out, what did they do? They filmed plays. They filmed plays. They didn't think you could do new things because you now had the film as a medium. So they filmed plays. They filmed a stage. Then they realized, oh wait, the camera can move. Then they realized, wait, we can do different scenes. We can go to different places. We can go on site. You did all these new things. So what are we seeing now with work from home? Well, a lot of people are doing the same shit they were doing in the office. Now they're just doing it over Zoom or doing it over video calls. They're having meetings or phone calls that they normally meet in person. This is the equivalent of recording a play, right? So this company Automatic, the CEO of Automatic, what they do, they don't have fucking video call meetings where they give company updates and shit. What they do is everything is text-based. They have an internal, basically, blog forum platform. Every single company update is all in text. It's searchable, it's savable, it's shareable, it's readable, it's boom, it's easy. You don't have to wade through your fucking boss doing some 60-minute update on a fucking Zoom call. It was a miracle he even got the fucking thing able to work. So what you're seeing, what this company does is, it's think of, don't just work from home and do the same shit you were doing before. Think of how you can make it better. Think of how you can improve what you were doing before. Don't just do the same shit you were doing in the office. So that's just an interesting thing to think about. And also, people say that since this company's been fully remote, they do meet up like once a year or something, but it's been fully remote, so they've learned a thing or two. One of the interesting things they say is that their company is actually, the information is less siloed because one of the things about working in an office, like, oh, the idea share, and people were walking by and people were poking their heads in, water cooler talk and all that. He's saying that these meetings that used to be in conference rooms that were only some of the company attended, or only some of the people cared about, or maybe some people were on lunch break, blah blah blah. Now it's all text. It's all text based. It's all searchable, and it's all shareable, and you can find out things about your own company that you work at if they move to a system like this. You can get actually more insight into what's going on because people are sharing more information, and it's much easier to wade through. Wading through videos is a nightmare. Video calls are a nightmare. Synchronous work meetings are a fucking nightmare. They're dog shit. Generally, you need one meeting a week to make sure everyone's still alive, and other than that, you're good to go. Okay, so think about that as you're working from home. Think how you can improve your processes, not just not just duplicate the processes that you had in the workplace. Okay, here we go. So here's the thing. Benedict Evans, he has a newsletter. This is his newsletter number 329. He's one of the best thinkers, in my opinion, in tech. I look forward to his newsletter every week. He releases it once a week on Mondays. March 30th, 2020. This is a newsletter from him. So he says this: Amazon is hiring 100,000 more people to handle demand, and Instacart is adding 300,000. He says, I keep wondering how much of this forced adoption will stick once we get back to normal. Some things that were inevitable will be accelerated, but there's now a mass experiment for lots of other fields where physical retail is acting as a logistics endpoint. Converting it to delivery is mostly a unit economics question, and that will vary by product. But a lot of retail is about more than that: service, discovery, curation, or just leisure. So it almost fucking. I went to fucking Michael's the other day, pick up some fucking art supplies, and fucking. And this is my woman doing the art stuff. She's doing some remote paint night shit or something. God bless her. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Probably won't. But here's the thing. It felt, a lot of this is, I'm sure you've been ordering online more. It felt archaic to get into a car, turn on a fucking engine, burn gas, drive around, drive to a store, pick something up, 6 feet social distancing. We kept the doors open. We opened the trunk. We said, put the stuff in the back. We floored it. We got out of there. Don't worry. We kept it chill. But it feels archaic. Ordering online, I'll wait a day. I'll wait a few days. Amazon Prime, it's absolutely insane. I'll wait a day, not have to get in the car. Think of the time cost. If you drive out somewhere 20 minutes, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes fucking back, it's 40 minutes. Not to mention when you get in the store. Every time I go into a store, I say, these are a nightmare. I fucking hate going into stores. You can never find anything. I always have to ask someone, excuse me, where's the mayonnaise? It's a nightmare. I hate it. Boom, order online. Someone comes to you. You don't have to get in the car. You don't have to travel. Bada bing, bada boom. I love it. Anyway, so he goes on to another thing. He says the UK has picked 11 suppliers for video primary care consultations during COVID after 48 hours. A lot of conventional processes are being short circuited in the emergency. Again, how much will stick? If we can see how fast we can improve things now, maybe we'll be like, yo, why did it take 6 months to prove a fucking video call solution before when the UK did it in 48 hours? Um, so another thing he talked about, so Apple is officially blocking all third-party cookies in Safari, which is a sizable chunk of web browsing and a much bigger share of browsing by the people that advertisers really want to reach, because advertisers want people with money. Typically, people with Apple products have money. 80% of U.S. teenagers, and the people they want to reach, young people. 80% of U.S. teenagers have an iPhone, for example. This still seems somewhat invisible in tech, even before current events, but totally changes how targeting and attribution work. It's also a win for privacy, but at the expense of competition to Facebook and Google, which don't need cookies in the same way. It also makes it significantly harder for online publishers to make money for advertising. So here's the thing. Cookies, they allow you to store, they allow websites to store information on your browser, so they can kind of identify some things about your safe state, about your browsing session. Safari is blocking all third-party cookies going forward. So, and one of the points Benedict Evans constantly makes is that, yes, this helps privacy. This allows prevent advertisers from tracking you across different websites. But what it does do is it makes Google and Facebook even stronger, because Facebook has its own, its website where they have a shit ton of information about you. They know who you follow, they know who you like, they know what you read, they know the things you click. They can serve advertisements based on that. They don't need your other data, though they would love to get it, but they don't need it. Same with Google. They know your search history. They know the things you like to click on and the things you don't. They know what you're most likely to click on. They're not as affected by this. And Google is going to block third-party cookies in 2022, I believe, in Chrome. So yes, it's good for privacy, and it makes Google and Facebook more dominant. Again, there are no solutions. There are only trade-offs. Wait, is that? Yeah, that's Pook. I forgot his name that said that. I said last week on the podcast. But anyway, so yeah, privacy, woo, no third-party cookies. Yeah, that's a good point, and I think it's valid, but everything's a trade-off. Now that makes Google and Facebook even stronger. New York, for example, he gives one example of the New York Times. This hurts their ability to advertise because they don't know what you're doing on other websites, so they can't track you and serve you up content that you might like. They're less likely to click their ads. Now, to be fair, New York Times specifically, they have a subscription model and they're doing pretty well compared to a lot of publications with it. But it's just something to think about. There's two sides to every coin here. Okay.